We're at the table. I wanted to talk about something that is really dear to my heart and something that I experienced when I was going through the whole, blacks in the priesthood and all of my figuring out what I was going to do in that scenario. So we've had some folks that have clearly left the church, used to be LDS, come at us saying things like, we haven't been validating their feelings or that we're being too harsh. We 100% will respect that, etc. But something that I want to bring up is a lot of the times when you are affected by someone who is still in the church being happy and sharing their testimony, and it irks you and you're upset about it and you feel like you have to say something about it or down the church or bash the person, it really is because you are still hurt. You have not truly healed from whatever it was. Let me just say, I have left the church. I have had my name taken off the records of the church, my own dabbling self. It was around the whole race relations and blacks not receiving the priesthood until 1978, et cetera, et cetera. And I remember when I went to my family and I was telling them about all that was going on, and they knew how hurt me and at the time my ex-husband were about this situation. And we even got to the point where my ex-husband took his name off the records, and then I decided to take my name off because of all the turmoil that was going on in our household. I kind of expected my family, who was in the church, and my really close friends to leave with me. So I wouldn't be doing this all, that's right, I wouldn't be doing this all on my own. And when they didn't, I was really hurt. And I will even go further to say that I was a little bit upset that they too were not leaving for such a, in my heart and mind, heavy, serious situation. Why aren't you leaving the church like me to get your own personal revelation and answer like I said I was going to do? When you put your problem, when you put your question, when you put your hurt on somebody else and thinking that they're supposed to do what you're doing, you make a huge divide. Because even though someone can understand where you're coming from, and even if they might actually feel the same way you do, that doesn't mean that everybody wants to leave. That choice is on you. When people say, oh, well, the church is a lifestyle and I lost my friends and all, why though? Why? You didn't have to.
Because they didn't choose to roll with you. Because they wanted to stay back and, they're entitled to feel the way they feel.
Exactly.
You can't control and make people do what you want them to do.
So you have to really look inside yourself and say, why? If I say I don't believe in said church, right. If I say that I don't want to have anything to do with said church, why are you still looking back in the rearview mirror?
Keep it moving. You
don't need to look back if you say that you are done. Right. The fact is, if you're looking back, you're not done. And that's just not for church-related stuff. That's for any type of healing thing. We are healing mentors. And that's for anything. When you are constantly looking back in the rearview mirror, you are not healed from whatever it is that you're looking back at. And when you're throwing shade and when you're throwing misery at other people, what's the saying? Hurt people hurt people. You are still hurting. I understand the hurt. I understand that you might feel a certain way, but it still does not give you right to sit there and throw your misery and project your hurt on everybody else and then expect the people that you're doing that to come back and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Why am I apologizing?
I ain't got nothing to be apologizing.
It has nothing to do with me. Your hurt has nothing to do with me. And that's something that I too had to learn when I was doing that. So I come from a place of complete understanding, but I am not going to, and we are not going to apologize for where we are and how happy we are and how we are thriving and what we choose to believe because you were hurt and you're still in your feelings.
Whatever you went through, that's between you and you. That is not between you and me and everybody else.
And we're not at fault for the way you might feel.
Right.
About how we feel.
Right. And you can't put your emotions and what happened to you on all the members of the church.
And with that, we understand.
Yep.
We respect how you feel. We respect you even leaving because I was once there.
Yep.
but we are not going to take on hurt that is not ours to have.
Oh.
We choose to be here, and we choose to share our testimony with the world. So
Whether you like it or not, we gonna keep shining and doing what we do, because this is what God is asking us to do. Deuces.
deuces.